Nashville would have, 5th District for the first time would have had a Republican congressman, although he'd probably been out the next time.
That's Andrew Jackson's seat, was it?
Right, exactly. Andrew Jackson's first congressman from this district. Fulton had, we're getting low on time, so I'll skip to the 1972 election. He had one more difficult race, and that was 1972. Of course, busing was a major issue that year, and parents, both white and black, were histrionic about what was going on. And Fulton had, first he had Wallace Backer, who had almost beaten Mayor Briley in the runoff in 1971, Casey Jenkins. He was a Wallace supporter. He ran the primary, but only got 26%. That fall, Alf Adams, well known locally, his father was a football hero and a former chancellor of Davidson County. Ran a very well-financed campaign, tied himself very much to President Nixon, and tied Fulton very much to George McGovern, a Republican or a Democratic nominee. He was considered very radical. Hit Fulton on busing, even though Fulton had introduced anti-busing legislation, and hit him on a lot of other things, including Jane Fonda. And and by the way, the Republicans I interviewed, George Kelly, Alf Adams, and former Governor Dunn, were all very gracious, and I thank them very much for their help. Fulton won with 63% that year, and that was the same margin by which Nixon carried Davidson County, the only time a Republican has carried this county. It was the first and last time. So Fulton, throughout those 10 years, was able to win, first of all, because Nashville is a little different from the rest of the South. In Middle Tennessee, you've got Hill Country Democrats who are basically very liberal, or more progressive, more in favor of things like TVA. You've got, of course, here an active political black community, about 20% of the population. And you've got a black intellectual community with 4 colleges centered around a larger intellectual community. You've got, although you have many conservative Protestants here.
And of course, Professor Pickard, we're running out of time. But in essence, Fulton played a very, very significant role in the civil rights movement in terms of perhaps unwittingly moving that movement forward. Would you say that that would be?
I would say, if I don't know that he, I mean, the legislation would have passed without his vote too.